We'll make it very interesting for you. I promise you that. So, and I have the best thing is I have an August panelists and from all the way different parts of the world. So what we'll do is we'll first let them, and I'll give each one of you a couple of minutes to introduce yourself. What is it that you do, and what's the passion behind what you do, right? So I'll start with lady on my right, Gemma.
Thank you. I am Gemma Bailey from NLP for Kids. We are a children's franchise from the UK, and we specialise in providing mental health and emotional well-being solutions for children with different anxiety disorders through one-to-one sessions and group coaching, which takes place in schools.
Hello, I'm Rick Campbell. I'm a co-founder of a company called Basketball Training Systems out of the United States. You may have seen my partner here, Larry Hughes, a 13-year NBA veteran. He and I put the company together to spread the basketball programs. We use basketball as a platform to help kids become peak performers both on and off the court.
Is this one? Can you hear? Get my on. My name is Lorraine Garvey. I've got a Scottish accent, but our business is in Australia. We are District 32 is a business growth platform providing business networking opportunities and essential business knowledge for business owners. We're a three-tiered model. We're very different from anything else that's in the marketplace, and our passion is we fight for the little guys. We're here to help business owners make it and to survive in the market. Thank you very much.
Hi, that's loud. Hi, I'm Richard Few. I'm founder and chief geek of Sales Geek, and Sales Geek's on a mission to change the way the world perceives sales, and we do that by making our sales education more accessible for business owners and salespeople alike, and we deliver that through our franchisee network all across the UK, US, and now just launching in India. I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you so much, each one of you. And I believe, and you can raise your hand and tell me, this is the first time that you are at this franchise show in India, right? Great. And that exactly leads me to my first question to each one of you. And the first question is really, why India? Why are you here? So you have the mic, maybe you want to start.
It means I've got less time to think. No, so we're a UK-based business, and actually, India's been on our roadmap for a little while, and part of that is where we're based in the UK. The town that we're based in is 55% South Asian, so it's a culture that we're really familiar with, and we have members of our team that are Indian too. And I think for me, the Indian economy is really exciting. It's a growing economy, it's an emerging economy, and somebody gave me some statistics recently about the volume, certainly from a sales recruitment perspective, that's going to have to happen in India to support the economic growth over the next few years. And all those salespeople need training. Typically, salespeople are underinvested in, so we want to make it easier for Indian businesses to train their salespeople and make them world class.
Great, thank you so much. So, Lorraine, you want to go next?
India wasn't in our radar. We are in Australia. We're just starting the franchise process throughout Australia. And we had some Indian entrepreneurs attend our events in Australia. And they liked the model and they saw it was very different, and they thought that the Indian business market would benefit from a growth model like ours, and they introduced us to Franchise India, who have begun the discussion and invited us here. It's a very exciting opportunity, and I think what's excited for us about that is just the response from the business owners on the ground about how this can impact business owners. So to just bring the model to another market is really, really exciting. And also the sheer size of the market here is also very exciting. And the welcome that we've had here has been next to none. We've been just treated very, very well. I love the way you do business here. Thank you.
So, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
We've had several opportunities to go to other countries. We're growing very quickly in the U.S., and we had no intention, obviously, of coming to India anytime soon because we have plenty of opportunity in the U.S., but we're contacted by some of the people at Franchise India, and their depth of capabilities and their the size of their organization gave us comfort that we had a resource here that we could use to and rely on as we grow here. So I've spent the last 6 or 8 months looking at the market with that team to determine whether this made sense, and we think it's time to give cricket a run for their money. So it's clearly the dominant sport, but in the U.S. you'll see you've got 4 TVs on. There's 4 different sports being shown on the TV. So I think there's a real opportunity here, and the time is right. So our first visit to India, and we're excited to see where it takes us.
So I didn't go looking for India. India came looking for me. And I think the reason why is because in terms of the needs of the children and young people in this country, maybe reflects where we were in the UK 10 years ago, where there is some acknowledgement that there are mental health challenges and anxiety issues amongst young people, but we're still on the crest of the wave. And right now, there's an opportunity to be able to address this and to put the services in place. And as the next few years go by, I suspect that uptake will really increase as people become more comfortable and society becomes more comfortable with talking about mental health and what's going on in our families.
All of you have been spending, I believe, 10, 12 hours yesterday and 10, 12 hours today. And I'm sure you've got a sense of where the market is headed for your franchisee businesses. So talk to me about how this exhibition has been, 1. 2, I think the fact that you guys are here for the first time tells you what Gaurav Maria and Fran Global can do to brands like yours to get them to India here and expose the Indian audience to the possibilities of different opportunities that exist. So talk to me about what your experience has been at the show, number 1. And number 2, would India be the first step to step into South Asia market and beyond? Because of course, some of you are from Australia, which is down under, and probably South Asia is closer. But you coming, sir, all the way from US, this market is just opening up, right? And so love to hear your thoughts on how this exhibition has been and what is your experience from this to beyond India to Asia where?
Well, my experience has been very busy. So we've had an awful lot of people who already knew about NLP for Kids before they even came to the exhibition. So that's been really positive because it tells me that not only is there a need for our service, but that people are excited about it. So that excites me too. In terms of working with Francorp, it's been a really quick turnaround, but actually they've pulled everything together to a really high standard super quickly. So that's been extremely reassuring because we haven't taken our franchise overseas at all yet. This is our first experience of franchising outside of the UK. So it's been very reassuring, but also gives us confidence to be able to look into other markets overseas in the future.
Great.
Yeah, the experience here has been fabulous. There's a great turnout, and we've had a lot of people come through our booth. Not for me so much as Larry, but that's all right. He's a well-known NBA player, and it's great. It works for our business model as well because we've got people, that are visible in the sport. And in terms of the opportunity here and working with Franchise India to take it to the next step, we think it's enormous. There's just so many kids that we can address and affect in what we do, and there's really no standardized basketball training here yet, right? And we've got a very standardized program, so we're excited to be bringing it, and the visitors to the booth consistently believe that it's going to be a real success and are excited to participate. So it's exciting.
I think bringing the science and art together, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The process, yeah.
Yeah, we like to use the platform of basketball to affect change with the kids because not all of them are going to be NBA players, but you can certainly affect their willingness to persevere and to get through problems and do things, and we can. A lot of times they won't listen to their parents, but they'll listen to their coach. And so, as a team, you can help those kids and make a difference.
Correct, correct.
The expo itself has just been amazing. It's always great to see such great footfall. We've arrived here from Australia. It's the first time we've been here. And we've came and the booth is already set up. It's already designed. There's professional brochures waiting for us. And the conversations have been very encouraging. People are genuinely excited about business opportunities here. So we've had an amazing time. Working with Franchise India has been exceptional. We've been working with them for a few months before we got here, and they took a lot of time to understand our model and how the pricing and the model would meet the Indian market. What really excited me I loved the confidence, because the structure and the resources that Franchise India have to scale brands is way beyond anything that we could accomplish by ourselves in 10 or 20 years, So to be able to ride on the experience, the exposure and the structure of an organisation like this is fantastic, and I recommend it to any brands who are looking for growth here, the Middle East or elsewhere. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to echo what the rest of the guys have said. The show's been incredible. I guess we didn't really know what to expect. We were quite late to the party in terms of coming out. I only booked my flights on Tuesday. We only knew 2 weeks ago that we would definitely come into the show. So we didn't have a lot of time to research it and maybe look at previous years. So I didn't have much expectation. But I have to say, I've been to some other franchise events in the UK, and one of those is the International Franchise Show. This is way bigger, way better footfall as well. So everyone that's involved in organising the event, it's a real credit to them. And the Franchise India team, again, like these guys have said, they've been brilliant with us, for us, the organisation, the helpfulness. All I've done is eat for the last 3 days. I keep getting force-fed food. It's mainly Liz's fault. But no, the show's great. And for us, in terms of sort of the life beyond India, we've got some ambitious goals as a business. If we're going to change the world, we need to have a global footprint, and India's part of that journey. But we've got some opportunities to step into other parts of the Middle East and Asia Pacific as well.
Great, thank you all. I think Lorraine mentioned something which sort of leads me and segues into my next question. So, you've been all successful in your countries with the structure, the presence, and the models that you've put in. What do you think, and how do you think you're going to sort of lead this forward with similar structures in India, or what is it going to change? So, is it going to be different, or you believe that what you've set up is exactly how you're going to roll it? And the next question, which is a follow-up question to the same, is how do you think Franchise India and Fran Global would sort of help you put those structures together, which is more conducive to Indian entrepreneurs and Indian business owners?
So I guess sitting here 2 days in to our journey into India, it's quite hard to answer the question of exactly how much is going to change. I think we are open to change and absolutely be led by the team at Franchise India. This is their market, and it would be very arrogant of us to not listen to the advice they got. So we're super open-minded in terms of how our franchise model works here. I think at a product level, my gut feel is 80-20, 80% is going to be the same. There's going to be 20, maybe 30% change and difference to kind of localize that. We've had some exposure to doing business in India previously before we launched our franchise here, so we've had some exposure to some of the nuances of how the product looks here. So yeah, for us, we are in the hands of the experts, and we're here to listen, I guess, ultimately. Remind me your second question.
Second question, exactly what you answered, which is how are you going to take the help of Franchise India and Fran Global, sort of structure things differently, if at all?
Yeah, I guess that's already started. It started from the very first conversations and their objective opinions on what we do, how it would fit here, what might need to change, and how the value proposition might need to alter. And for us, this is their market, and we're just here to listen and learn and make the best of it.
I like the 80-20 rule. There's always a good rule of thumb. Yeah.
Everybody
Pareto
loves the
effect,
80-20.
the 80-20 rule works.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be mostly the same from my gut feeling, but on steroids. There's a lot more people here.
I love the steroids piece.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The same on steroids.
The advantage that India has is the steroids that you're talking about.
And the support that, obviously we're in Australia. We'll be doing some training in Australia. We're hoping that the culture remains here, which will take, regular visits here to make sure that the culture is the same. But Franchise India have also offered massive support to new franchise partners who've come on board today. And Franchise India have said, they'll help get the first events up, help get the first customers up, and provide way beyond what would be expected from support for the first 6 months. So that in itself is going to make a huge difference to how we land here. So again, it's just support. It's fantastic.
Great.
Yeah, so as it relates to the BTS business model, I think it'll largely remain the same. I spent a lot of time with, I'll give a shout out to Shook and Nikita, who are the finance people that I worked with. The numbers in the U.S. are different than the numbers here, so the prices that we charge, the expense structure, all that is dramatically different, but we spent a lot of time getting our arms around it and feeling like, we understand it well enough and we're comfortable. The infrastructure isn't in here. The U.S. basketball is huge, so there's courts everywhere. Here, we're going to need to be a little more creative in how we address the infrastructure. But the schools have courts, so there's an opportunity with the schools, bringing our standardized programs to the schools. And, as far as Franchise India's participation and support, they're bringing the knowledge. They did a pretty deep dive into this opportunity before we launched it. I was a reluctant partner because we just had so much going on in the U.S., but they really did their research, and we're really excited by this opportunity. And we're confident that their support's going to help us get there. I don't think we could do it without them.
You're right. I think basketball is like cricket in the U.S. As it is to India. So absolutely, it's huge. So. And I'm glad that you're bringing it here and sort of putting those structures together for promoting that. So, Kema, over to you. And what are your thoughts there on the first question?
So my company is NLP for Kids. The NLP part stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And within NLP, we have what we refer to as presuppositions. They're basically convenient beliefs that help you to maintain a really good attitude and mindset. And one of them is called the law of requisite variety. And that means that the person with the most flexibility of behavior has the greatest influence over the system. So we have come here with quite structured programs that we usually deliver to our clients and in the schools that we work with, but we come with an attitude of flexibility already embedded into that. So it means that once we are up and running, we need to be mindful of the fact that there will be some cultural differences, but that ultimately, children are children the world over, and they're experiencing similar challenges the world over. So I don't anticipate that there will be too much of a difference in terms of the delivery of our service, but already we're looking at, okay, how is the education system perhaps set up slightly differently here, and what we might need to do to, address an Indian market.
Great. So one question that comes to my mind, and a lot of people in the audience would be interested in, is if I, let's say, sign up for an NLP Kids, or if I sign up for a District 32, what kind of support can I expect from you guys directly or from Franchise India, and how does that translate into success? Because, I sign up something and I need to be sure that I need to be successful, right? So what kind of coaching, training do you provide, which sort of ensures that entrepreneurs who sign up really take that piece and run with it? So Gemma, would you want to take a shot at that one first?
Sure. So you're going to have the support of 2 head offices. So the head office based here in India will be responsible for all of the business, marketing, and setting up your digital presence, your website, social media, starting the initial engagement with schools, as well as marketing to parents and helping our franchisees with those initial inquiries. The head office that exists in the UK is going to be taking responsibility for the training, the initial training, but also all of the soft skills and support that you need as a practitioner on the other side. Because when it comes to putting the skills into practice in real life, of course, everybody's different. So there's going to be some challenges that come up. You might try every technique in the book to help a child who has low confidence and find nothing's hitting the spot. So then you need to come back to the head office team to get extra advice and support around what to do with that. So that side will be managing from the UK.
And I guess with NLP, you'll also be looking at the cultural nuances that India has with respect to kids and growing up and things like that, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. So a big part of the work that we do is based around families and family dynamics. And so there's going to be some cultural differences that exist there. So as well as all of our franchisees being on this learning curve, learning their NLP skills, NLP for Kids is going to be on a learning curve, learning all about those cultural nuances for sure.
Great. What do you read?
I think for us, Franchise India will be very involved in their team in things like tracking the financials and doing the things that every business needs to do.
Sure.
As well as the marketing activities, they're very effective at that. We've got it down to a science in the U.S. and their team's very efficient. They understand it, so that's not going to be done in the U.S. and transferred here. They'll be handling that. Core to our business is our training, right? That's what differentiates us. That's what defines a quality program. So we've worked with them to determine how that's going to happen. And we're going to be bringing people here in the U.S. So our first licensee will have a couple of our key trainers here for multiple weeks working with them. In the U.S., we have locations all over the United States, and there's different time zones. It's not quite as distinct or as dramatic as this, but every Monday we have our head trainer working with all the trainers around the country, and we're going to do the same thing here. So Franchise India will be critical to helping us make that happen. And as we get kind of lead trainers here, it'll get easier. But so the training's still the situs for the critical training is going to still be out of the U.S. and until this matures to a point here where we really have sufficient quality trainers. But that's been probably the biggest challenge we've had to think our way through is how do we make sure that the trainers here are going to live up to the standards that we've established, because they don't have quite the experienced basketball culture that you have in the U.S. But we're confident we can do it.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you'll be able to do it. Lorraine, yeah.
Support is one of our top values. Our culture, we've got a culture of support. It's what all of our customers say about us and our partners say about us, that they get involved with our brand because of the support and the culture. We've got initial comprehensive training. New franchise partners will come to Australia for our initial training. Then we've got comprehensive training online, training ongoing. Franchise India are going to support all new partners here for 6 months as well. But then we'll have ongoing. Dean has my business partner sitting there. He's going to come to India every month.
Wow.
I'm having a joke. No, I've just told him that.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
but we've got a dedicated
team. Access to the right butter chickens, so.
That's right. But we've got a dedicated support team back in Australia just for support, just for training. And we'll have training every 2 weeks, ongoing forever. So there's never... somebody can never ask for too much support, help, or training. It's always available.
Yeah, I think from a sales geek perspective, that it's going to be a team effort in terms of the ongoing support and training. I think as a franchisor, I believe the two most important things as a franchisor is recruiting high quality individuals and then onboarding them properly. And for us, the support and the training starts during that onboarding process. And we've been working towards making that world class within Sales Geek, and when you onboard people properly, the success of those individuals is far, far greater. So that we ensure that, as well as helping them understand the product and the service and what we do and how to go and apply that, that actually on day one, most franchisees' number one concern is, where is my first customer going to come from?
Yep.
And we strive to solve that problem for them as quick as we possibly can through training and onboarding them properly, because generally they're stepping out maybe of an employed role where they have a salary. They're sat in our office on day one with no income, with no customers, and the sooner we can get them to having those first customers, the better. So we're really excited to take a number of people on that journey from India. And then really outside of onboarding, for us, there's a lot of ongoing training. And some of that training is delivered by us and be delivered by Franchise India. But actually, we're really passionate about facilitating learning between our franchisees as well, because what they learn and what they're doing is very, very current. Whereas, when I think about our journey as a business, these guys are on the ground today, whereas I was on the ground yesterday. So we facilitate a lot of learning between our franchisees and building that global community of sales geeks so that they can share learning between each other and help each other survive and thrive and grow. So I guess we class ourselves as a low-cost startup, so office space is not mandatory. We have a few of our more established franchisees in the UK that once they grow and scale and have a bigger team, they will take on some space. But up until that point, they're a solopreneur. They work from home, and that's really important for us, and it's important for them because most of our franchisees have left some quite highly paid sales leadership roles, like I did 7 years ago, where they're traveling a lot, they're away from home a lot, their quality of life, the balance in their life is not very good. So actually giving them the opportunity to be based out of their home, and because we're a geographical franchise, they're never more than 5 or 10 miles away from their front door, so they leave home later, they come home earlier, even if they're on site with customers, and they may even be servicing those customers from Zoom. So I think franchise opportunities, I think we're probably, some of us are in a similar boat here, where it makes it easy for someone to transition from an employed job, where they've got the comfort maybe that comes with that, into running their own business is can be difficult for people because of the costs involved. So having a low-cost startup with no need to be spending money from day one, I think it's really important to help people transition.
Sure.
This one's easy to answer for me. We've got a team of 11, and we all work from home. So I'm running the franchise.
That answers a lot of things for me. Yeah.
It answers, I went into the business for independence and freedom. I want to work when I want, that suits me and my lifestyle, and therefore my staff, my team are attracted to that, and they do the same. They're very, very appreciative that the whole team can work from home. Your performance and the appreciation comes back tenfold. We've got a really diverse team, so they're from all different countries around the world, working in different time zones. It means we're exceptional at communication. Our communication has to be at the next level to deal with different personalities, different backgrounds, different countries, different languages. So it's very attractive to be a franchisee for District 32 because we're teaching you how to do the exact same we've done, is operate whichever size of business you want from home. Yep.
Rick, you may want to answer this question as to what kind of a person you are looking for in a franchisee, because I'm sure it will be a very specific customer profile or franchisee profile that you may have.
In the U.S., the franchisees tend to be people that already have a passion for basketball.
Yeah.
They've had a professional life that may not have been as fulfilling, but was necessary for financial reasons, and they really want to run a company where they can make money, but they also want to give back.
Yep.
Because one of the beauties of the business is they're very fulfilled at the end of the night when they've watched these kids grow and learn, and somebody's done something new, and they're on top of the world when they're leaving the facility, and so it's very fulfilling. So for here, we really want to have somebody that's aligned with our philosophy, right? Which is you really want to work with those kids, and you have a passion for growing the game and love the game and want to you raise the basketball IQ for the kids. Not many of them are going to play in the NBA, but you can certainly help them love the game, enjoy the game, and experience it for life.
Great. Gemma.
Which question would you like me to answer?
The question on work from home and how does it fit in to your
Yes,
business?
you can absolutely work from home as an NLP for Kids practitioner. My old answer would have been that if you were doing delivery in school, then there would be aspects of the business where you were not working from home because you're going to go in and deliver workshops, one-to-one sessions, and that still happens. But actually, even that portion takes place online sometimes as well now. You know, we can run online workshops via Zoom. Most of the schools became equipped with screens and cameras and things over COVID and lockdown, and those infrastructures remain there. So many of our practitioners continue to work from home and don't do any real life face-to-face stuff, but ultimately we're offering a therapeutic solution. So it's nice to be in the room with someone so that you really get that sense of rapport and connection with the person you're working with.
Great, thank you so much. So as I close this interesting conversation, I would like to thank each one of you. I know all of you are here for some more time in India. I wish you great closures out of this great show, and all the best, and look forward to catching up with you when you guys are here next in India. So thank you so much.